Taurus, welcome back to the channel. Monica Louv here at the Love Messages. So today we are going to be doing a reading for the month of September. Now this is going to be a general reading, so it may resonate with you, it may not. If it does resonate with you, there will be links in the description box for the extended of this reading. Taurus, in this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at past, present, and future for you. I'm going to be clarifying the cards and pulling some advice. Okay, so Taurus, your challenge is the Seven of Wands, and what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Pentacles upright, okay? So for you, Taurus, your biggest challenge here is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of persistence. It is a card of really just being in demand. You know, many people may be wanting your attention. Maybe you have a lot of things that are going on. Some of you could be overwhelmed. That's what I'm getting with this energy. Maybe there's a feeling of being overwhelmed. We're going to clarify this and get more information in a moment. Now, in the recent past, you have the King of Cups, you have the King of Swords, and you have the Knight of Pentacles. So in the recent past, I do feel that there was a connection that you may have entertained here in the past, maybe with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I'm getting maybe an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So in the recent past, there was definitely an attraction between you and a specific person. I feel this attraction that you had between you and this person, really, I think the reason why you and this person really liked each other was the fact that you and this person were very different. There was something that maybe you brought to the connection that this person didn't have, and something that this person brought to the connection that you didn't have, okay? That, you know, vice versa. So they could have came in and had something that, you know, you really admired about them, and you could have came in with something that they really admired about you. So there was definitely a dynamic here that was very different, opposing energies, but high attraction here. I do feel, Taurus, that things moved very slowly between you and this person. Things didn't move quickly between you and this person with the Knight of Pentacles here. We're going to get more information on this when we clarify, okay? Now, in the present moment, you have the Four of Cups, you have the Magician, and you have the Seven of Cups. So in the present moment, you have a very high ability to manifest and create the things that you want at this time with the Magician here. One of the things that you should be aware of, Taurus, is that you have options. You have choices here with the Seven of Cups. Many of you in the present moment, okay, and now this could be vice versa. This could relate to you, or it could relate to somebody else that you're dealing with. There's something here in the present moment about someone having options. They have choices, they have options. They can literally be with anybody. They don't have to be with any particular person per se. I do get a sense here that with the Four of Cups, there's a bit of this rejecting energy, right? There's a bit of this, I want to be interested, but I'm not interested, right? So some of you could be dealing with somebody here who really emotionally is connected to you. They really like you, but they feel that you're treating them as an option. Or perhaps you may be feeling like this when it comes to a particular person. Somebody here really wants attention, and they're not getting it with the Four of Cups. They're not getting that attention that they are so desiring and wanting. The Seven of Cups here as well in the present moment is definitely connected to options, maybe even, you know, confusion. We're going to see when we clarify. In the near future, you have the Fool, you have the Nine of Cups, and you have the Empress. So in the near future, there's definitely a new beginning that's happening for you. You're going to be embarking on something new here. I feel whatever you're doing in the near future, Taurus, it's going to bring a lot of satisfaction and happiness to you. The Nine of Cups is here, which is happiness, satisfaction, just overall being joyful of one's reality here in the near future. And you're creating something here. There's a lot of nurturing and love and support here in the near future for you. So this is what I'm seeing for you. We're going to clarify everything in a moment. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Pentacles here. Okay. So the Six of Pentacles is talking about a connection or relationship where there's equal give and take. Okay. There's equal give and take. There's support here. There's generosity here. There's a lot of healing here also in terms of what you don't see coming. And underneath that, you have the Three of Swords. So some of you have gone through some sort of painful situation or event recently, or maybe in the past. And now what you don't see coming is a lot of you are moving towards this healing phase, right? Where you're just going to be focusing on, you know, your future goals, your health, your well-being. And something in your life is finally coming back into balance. There's a lot of generosity here. There's a lot of support here. There's a lot of nurturing here. Okay. So if there has been a lack of that, that's what's going to be shifting for you. We are going to be having the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in the sign of Pisces. And this is happening on the 7th of September. Okay. So there's definitely going to be some form of a shift depending on where Pisces sits in your astrological chart. I will have details about how you can look at how these eclipses are going to affect you. Those details will be in the description box. They're not there now, but they will be coming shortly, and you'll be able to get more information that is personalized to you. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Let's see what's going on for you. Let's start off with clarifying your challenge. Okay, so your challenge, which is the Seven of Wands, is clarified by the Three of Swords. You have the Six of Swords and you have the Devil, okay? So your challenge here, Taurus, has a lot to do with some sort of painful situation that you went through, either recently or one that you went through in the past. Now, your biggest challenge here has a lot to do with recognizing red flags when it comes to certain relationships in your life, okay? People that you deal with, red flags. Your challenge here has a lot to do with disconnecting or moving away from something here that is not supporting your well-being. There's something here that's been really toxic, unhealthy. It's caused a lot of pain. And the only way you can change this is by setting and creating boundaries. And this is what your challenge is. Your challenge is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is creating boundaries. And if you see this person, you see all the other wands here, and then you see this person holding their wand, and then there's a door. It's almost as if a lot of you are choosing to leave, or you're needing to leave, or you're needing to disconnect from a situation because it's not healthy for you anymore. And by the way, this has been a common theme for everybody, okay? And this is typically what the energy is when we get to eclipse season, right? There's always this needing to shift, needing to change, and it's really redundant. It's a constant message that's just really repeated over and over and over again. But ultimately, this is the message here for you, okay? The message here for you is that there's some sort of change that, you know, may need to be made. Why? Because something here is just not healthy anymore. So the challenge here is to leave or disconnect from something here that has caused you pain. Now, if this isn't about physically leaving, because some of you may watch this and say, oh, well, you know, I've already left the situation, or I'm not involved in that situation anymore. You're right, Monica. It was toxic. It was unhealthy for me. I needed to move away from that situation. If you've already moved away from that situation, this is about mentally moving away from the situation. This is about not holding on to the drama and the toxicity of the situation. This is also about not repeating it, right? You know, if we see something negative or we feel something negative, dwelling on it or going on and on about it is actually still creating this energy field within our energy field. So the message here is to identify what has been toxic in your life, what has been unhealthy in your life, what mental thoughts have you had that are unhealthy, how can you realign yourself and really just change the way you're thinking or the way you're putting those thoughts out into your reality. Because sometimes it's not an actual physical person, sometimes we are our worst enemy, right? So, negative thoughts or dwelling on past painful events or situations instead of redirecting that energy. So you're learning how to redirect that energy, right? So one of the ways you can redirect the energy is, instead of talking negatively about something negative that happened to you, talk about what you learned from it and how you're going to grow from it. And immediately what that does is it redirects the energy. And that actually brings more abundance and flow into your life to bring forth the things that are actually meant to come into your life, right? So there is a lot of pain here. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of pain here. And it's been very challenging for you to get over this situation, but it's a matter of walking through that door, right? And when I say walking through that door, it means getting over the situation and redirecting your energy to the direction that it needs to be, rather than in a direction that creates and continues to make you feel stagnant, okay? So this is what I'm seeing for your challenge here, redirecting your energy, instead of wanting to be in this place of pain, moving away from it and learning from it and redirecting the energy. Okay, and this is going to be a big part of your challenge. Now, let's talk about the recent past. I'm going to clarify all the cards in the recent past. Okay, so the King of Swords is clarified by, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Magician, and you have the Chariot, okay? So in the recent past, I do feel there was someone who came into your life, an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They came into your life, lots of abundance here. You manifested this person, somebody here who brought forth, support to you, maybe long-term support. This person, it looks like in the recent past, they were very much connected to the idea of moving forward with you, okay? There's a strong energy here of, okay, I want to move forward with you. You're the one. I feel like you're the one. You're bringing so much, abundance and greatness to my life here in the past. You also have the King of Cups, which is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. Somebody here in the recent past really liked you because what you brought to the connection was this level of independence. A lot of you are very independent. You don't need anybody financially. You are someone who's doing your own thing, and this is very attractive, right? So I see you've attracted two different people here in the past, and that could be the reason why you have the Seven of Cups in the present moment, because there's two different energies here, okay? There's somebody here who really likes you because you bring forth this independent, strong character, and then there's another person here who also brings that same level of energy into the connection. Now, you have been moving, at least in the recent past, you've moved towards the situation very slowly, very methodically. You're not rushing into anything here in the recent past. Some of you have a difficult time letting go of the past, okay? You have the Six of Cups, the moon and the sun. You have a very hard time letting go of the past. Why? Because in the recent past, you created and had a very strong connection with someone. Whenever I see the sun and the moon conjunct, the word conjunct means together, okay? If you don't know. Sometimes I use big words on the channel and I realize not everybody knows the big words. So yeah, when these two cards are together, the sun and the moon, this is a very strong soul connection, okay? The sun and the moon. Whenever the sun and the moon are conjunct in an astrology chart, in tarot, there's a strong connection here. So some of you have had a very difficult time letting go of the past, even though you want to maybe move forward into a new connection or into a new direction here. And like I said to Scorpio, I'm getting a very similar energy like this reading to the Scorpio reading that I did. In the Scorpio reading, I talked about how Scorpio is afraid to move forward in their relationships at this time because they've been through so many relationships that maybe were unsuccessful or they have trust issues. And for many of you, I feel this is very similar. It's a similar case to you where you want to move forward. You want to be able to attract these people who are very abundant and be with these people that are very abundant, but you also are equally afraid that whatever happened to you in the past is going to repeat again. Okay, this is a very common theme for you. And some of you watching this, you still have a connection with someone from your past. As much as you may say, oh, I've moved on, you still have that little feeling there still, is what I'm getting. Okay, so, and you're healing. You have the star here, okay, at the bottom of the deck for the recent past. So you're still healing, you're still going through this transformation, transformative energy, okay? So let's clarify all of the cards. Ooh. Okay, so the Magician, okay, is clarified by, you have the Five of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups, and you have the Temperance, okay? So at the top of your reading, there is a very strong energy here of manifesting, okay? You're creating and manifesting your reality. One of the things that has been blocking you, okay? So some of you are asking, what's been blocking me? Why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel like I can't move forward? What's really going on with me? One of the reasons why you may feel that when you manifest or create this reality for yourself, one of the reasons why it doesn't quite happen the way that it needs to, for many of you, the Magician here is with the Five of Wands. You have the Eight of Cups and you have the Temperance. There's definitely something here about patience, needing to be patient and not to fight against certain things that are happening in your life. Some of you are just not happy, okay? You're just not happy with certain things in your life, and this is why it's creating some sort of conflict for you. Like I've said again and again, it's very redundant. It's almost like I'm a broken record, but I must say it. If there's something in your life that is not in alignment with you, which is obvious because your challenge has a lot to do with disconnecting from certain things that are not in alignment with you, it's going to take time for you to disconnect from these things, okay? As much as you don't want to be involved with this, or maybe it's causing some sort of heavy burdens for you presently in the present moment, this is about you remaining and staying grounded at the same time while eliminating or making some sort of changes in the present moment. Because what I see here in the present moment is there's a conflict. The conflict that you have right now has a lot to do with the fact that you're not satisfied or you're not happy with a certain specific thing in your life. And it is going to take time, okay? It is going to take time for this change to happen. However, the good news here is that with the eclipses that are happening, we're having a partial solar eclipse, but we're having a full lunar eclipse, which means, and it's happening in Pisces, and Saturn has just retrograded back into Pisces. So I strongly feel at this time there's definitely major changes that are happening, and these major changes that are taking place are going to help eliminate these things that are not in alignment with you, okay? And again, when I talk about things not being in alignment, I don't want to be the one that just comes on here and says, hey, just break up with someone because, you're not happy. There are certain things in your life where you're going to disconnect from them because you've outgrown them or you have decided to move into a new direction. And I think what happens oftentimes with society is people have this idea, it's a boxed idea where it's like, well, no, things should be this way. And if they're not this way, then, it looks bad or it's not good. So this is about you recognizing what is causing resistance in your life, because there is something here causing resistance. You're trying to control the situation. I mentioned this to Sagittarius as well, so you could have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart. And it's interesting because the Temperance is here as well. Some of you are dealing with the Sagittarius. So this is about recognizing what you don't like, recognizing that, yeah, maybe it is time to disconnect and walk away, but also recognizing that it's going to be a process. It's not something that's going to happen right away. And you're Taurus. So luckily you have the nature and patience to, go through things such as this. Now, you also have the Four of Cups here. Somebody here feels rejected in the present moment. They don't feel valued or they don't feel wanted here in the present moment. You have the Lovers, the Seven of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. I do feel this is an air sign you're dealing with, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Could also be a water sign, maybe a Scorpio here or a Cancer. Somebody here, they want to rush in. They want to be with you, especially if this is new love. If this is somebody you've been dealing with for quite some time, they feel like they're an option, okay? Somebody here is really in love with you. Like, I don't know if this is, you know, infatuation or it's, you know, just genuine appreciation for you. But somebody here is rushing in and they are making offers, or they're saying, you know, here, take my offer. Here, are you interested? Here, do you want to be with me? It's a little bit overwhelming, really. And this could be what's creating some sort of conflict, right? You have the Seven of Cups as well, again, twice. So somebody here has options. And I do feel in the present moment that Four of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords, I do feel in the present moment, there's definitely a strong energy here of somebody making an offer. Some of you watching this, I'm speaking directly to you. You're trying to make an offer to a specific person. Some of you are just also maybe, there's something here about applying for jobs, like applying for multiple jobs. And if that's the case, let's say you're applying for a job or you just finished school, because sometimes it's not always about love, right? Let's say you're applying for jobs or you are, you know, making an offer. One of the things that's going to be really important, which again, this could be what's creating some sort of conflict in your life. One of the things that's going to be extremely important for you is to get extremely clear on what you have to offer. Okay. So I'm just going to put this out there. If you're the one that feels like you're an option, if you're the one that feels that no matter what you do, no matter how much effort you make, you just don't seem to get what you want, there's something here about needing to stop and needing to rest and needing to really rethink your whole entire direction of your life. It's very important that you work on creating skills that other people don't have. When you create a skill that other people don't have, you become competition for everybody else. But if you're coming in and you're doing something that everybody else does, then guess what? You're just another number, okay? So if you feel frustrated at the fact that you're not satisfied with a relationship, or you're not satisfied with a job, or you're not satisfied with certain elements or aspects in your life, and you want to disconnect and you want to attract something better or more, then you also have to elevate yourself in order to attract better and more, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this can go in a few different ways. It could be related to love. It could be related to education and, you know, applying for a better life. But either way, whoever I'm speaking to, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. Okay, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here because right now, there's just too many choices and options, and there's a need to step outside of that and become better than all those other options. When you do that, you're going to be way more satisfied in your life. You're going to attract more abundance into your life, and you're no longer going to be in this place of waiting. There's something here about constantly waiting. It's like, I'm waiting for this to manifest. I'm waiting for this to happen. You need to stop waiting. You need to start focusing inward on what needs to improve inside so that everything on the outside can follow. Okay, this is the message here for you in the present moment. Okay, now let's move on to the near future. I'm going to clarify all the cards. Okay, so in the near future, you have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Cups. You have the Page of Wands, and you have the Emperor, okay? So in the near future, I do feel that there's going to be way more stability coming into your life, especially after watching this reading, recognizing what needs to change, what you need to work on. You're moving into a completely new direction in the near future. You've already made plans in the near future, it looks like, to focus on what is going to bring you satisfaction. So your focus is shifting in the near future. Your focus is going to be on abundance, fulfillment, happiness, maybe even coming together into a relationship with someone if that's what you're looking for. I think that, and I mentioned this as well to other signs, once you decide to move into a completely new direction, you're going to see things way differently, right? Instead of staying or being attached to situations that are not in alignment with you, you're moving into a new direction. It's very obvious. It's very clear here. Many of you are choosing to disconnect from a fire sign in the near future. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Knight of Wands, and the Fool. You may be deciding to disconnect temporarily from this person in order to realign the relationship or reconnect. I do feel this temporary separation that's happening in the near future is going to help recalibrate your relationships or your relationship with this person, especially if they've been inconsistent with you. Some of you have been dealing with someone who's been inconsistent with you, or you've been inconsistent with them. It looks as if this person's been inconsistent with you, but when you start to separate yourself from this person and focus more on yourself, this person starts to have more of a desire and more of a longing for you. If you're constantly hanging around them, you're constantly available, you're constantly there, this person may not feel that you bring value. And unfortunately, that's how people are. You know, people, when they get too much of something, they take it for granted. So there is a sense here of a separation or a temporary disconnect in order for you to miss this person, in order for you to maybe realign your relationship. Okay. You also have the Empress here. Some of you may be pregnant here in the near future. Okay. That's not for everybody, but some of you may be creating something, or you may be birthing something here in the near future. You have the Hierophant, the Three of Wands, and the Justice. I think if this is about a marriage or a commitment, there will be things that are going to improve within your connection relationship. I do feel that if you are at a distance from someone or you're separated from them, there will be a reconciliation here in the near future is what I'm getting. Or if this isn't about a reconciliation, this could be about things being set right for you finally. Okay, so this shift that you're going through, I do feel bigger and better things are coming in. And just remember, everything that's happening in the present moment is happening so that things can improve in the near future. Okay, so let's get some advice for you. What is the advice? Okay, so your biggest piece of advice here is the Page of Wands, you have the Four of Swords, and you have the Ace of Cups. So in the challenge here for you, you have the Seven of Wands, and it's quite interesting because, you know, your challenge has a lot to do with setting boundaries. And it's very much connected to your advice. And your advice here is to recognize that once you've set boundaries, once you have recalibrated your life, because that's what you're doing, Taurus, you're recalibrating your life. Your biggest piece of advice here is once you recalibrate your life and you decide to move into a new direction, which is what you're going to be doing, most of you are going to be doing that. Once you decide to move into a completely new direction and you start to rest more and heal and really focus on your well-being, that's when a new energy is going to come into your life, you know. And if this is about love, if you're saying, you know, I want to attract the right partner, I want to attract the right person to be with, if this is about love, this is about reconnecting with yourself. And once you reconnect with yourself, that abundance, that love, that true love, that real love is going to come in for you. And it's interesting because the moons are here, right? The moons are representing the eclipses, the changes that are happening every time we go through a moon phase, right? So your biggest message here is to recognize that in order for you to feel whole and happy within yourself, it may require you to move into a new direction and to work on that inner first in order to attract what's meant for you on the outer. Okay, so Taurus, this is what I have for you. I hope this reading helped. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.